안녕하세요. So, this is Drama Side Chats. We had a small technical error, or several, during the course of recording our commentary for episode 8 of Syb and My 19th Life. Yeah, so instead of watching it all over again, Syb and I are going to do something different.
We're just going to talk about our feelings in watching episode 8. Like, what did we think of it? What happened and what did we think of it?
Yes. So,
and while we're doing this, I'm gonna like scroll through certain things.
I'm kind of sad for multiple reasons. First of all, like, we got bingo during this episode, so that was kind of sad that didn't get recorded, because I got a double bingo and you got a bingo, and like we had great reasoning for it. So like we checked CCTV footage because they checked the old cassette tapes, and we were like, that counts for us.
That's like old school CCTV, a cassette tape. You had to like dig around and find a cassette player in order to play the cassette tape.
Exactly. So, we had some great moments like that. So I like to include quotes when we do our video uploads. And so some of my favorite quotes on there were, Syb said something about "let the bodies hit the floor."
You said it simultaneously.
I kind of did too, yeah. So we both said it as the body landed, and we felt like kind of not good people for a moment there, but we were also cracking up laughing, and because it was sort of funny because we knew it wasn't a real person.
Bodies hit the floor. Yeah, that's when the lone shark gets tossed over the edge. He gets murdered.
So yeah, if you're watching this, hopefully you've already watched the episode first. I'll try to put that as like a spoiler alert in the bottom, I guess. Yeah, some of the other things we put in there. At one point, one of us said, "That's messed up."
What was that in reference to? Do you remember?
I'm not entirely sure at this point. We just finished watching the episode too. Like, we didn't even leave.
Okay, was it after the bodies hit the floor?
No. Oh, yes, it was after that, but I don't remember how far after that.
It was probably, I bet I know what it is. Okay. I bet it was when we discovered that it was Jiyoung's father who was the truck driver.
Yes, that's what it was.
I bet that's what it was.
When we found out, because not only was her father the reason that she died in her previous life, but he was her dad, so he was the cause of her death and her birth, which is confusing.
Yeah.
And
all kinds of messed up.
There were some great moments in that episode too, where, like, we talked about how there were some parallels that we saw from The Good Bad Mother, where it's like, oh, let's just burn all the evidence that we have of this crime, because that'll make everything get better.
Yeah, but we talked about how, at least in Good Bad Mother, there was always like more evidence to find, and they eventually got the bad guys. But yeah, in this one, he's just burning the evidence. Thankfully, he listened to the cassette tape before he burned that one.
Right, because you don't want to have melted cassette tape in your grill, and that's probably the only reason he didn't do it immediately.
This is gonna mess up the flavor of all the subsequent steaks.
I mean, let's be honest, it's not gonna smell great. So yeah, so that was pretty messed up. But then, we did find out who the ultimate party responsible for, planning the murder was Uncle, which, you and I talked, and how we were like, okay,
but we don't have motivation. Like, so yeah, we could use your help on this, actually, because is the uncle the father's brother or the mother's brother? Because if it's the mother's brother, maybe his motivation is he wants control of the hotel. The hotel was left to his sister, which would be Soa's mother. She's off, and then he got off the son so that he could get the hotel. Maybe.
Right. And then was the mother killed? And was the mother's death an accident, or was that a plotted thing too? And
she might have been poisoned. I think she was poisoned.
Yeah. So we both also really enjoyed when the reincarnated version of Sang-ah came back to bring gladiolas to Miss Jang, and Miss Jang
nearly gave her a heart attack.
Yeah. And so we were both like, "I know what you did."
Oh, that's right.
we were imagining
that simultaneously too.
Yeah, again, simultaneously. We had a lot of double saying things at the same time, and I was kind of sad that we didn't get this one recorded, because we had some really great moments in there.
but yeah, so when we were pretty close too, that whole I know what you did thing, because she did have a note that was basically like, yeah, it's me, the dead woman. um we also had a lovely quote here of us saying something along the lines of a touch murdery.
Yeah, both families, both sides of their families. His family, her family, they're a bit murdery.
They're a little bit, they're a little on the murdery side. Just a scotch, just a, a little hint here and there of murder. Just
yeah. And then the cover up too. Like, why is the dad? Okay, so we've confirmed in this episode it's the uncle that ordered the hit, right?
right.
Why is his dad trying to cover for the uncle? But
that's what I don't get. Why would he do that? I mean, unless it was his brother, but again, like, you murdered a person.
Yeah, but brother, son, you're my brother, but you tried to murder my son. Like, either way, it doesn't work. If it's his brother, why is he
you're
trying
my
to cover it up?
brother-in-law
If
and
it's
you
his
tried to murder my
brother-in-law,
son.
why is he trying to cover it up?
Yeah, it's the motivation is hard to understand, which has been one of our hardest parts with this show from the start, is understanding the character motivation. And I think they strain us a little bit there. Like, it's fine if you actually give us it, but like, don't hold it out so long that our patience is getting, a little bit thin.
Little thin. Yeah.
So there was another quote that I had about perfect timing. And my memory.
Was it I think it was the brakes in the car. Okay, so Jioon's dad is driving the truck and he's like trying to stop and somebody had cut the brakes. And so we're like, all right, fine. So he's supposed to cause this minor collision, but he's trying to stop so it's not that bad of a collision. But then the brakes are cut, so that becomes a big collision and people die. That would have to be timed so perfectly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not possible.
Yes. So
like, what are the chances that he's going to hit that car at the right moment on that street just as he's trying to hit the brakes and the brakes don't work? Like,
and the
really?
thing is, like,
come on.
I've seen these accidents, these intentional accidents, if you will, forgive the obvious contradiction in that statement, but I've seen these accidents happen in a number of shows where somebody rams into someone else's car just at the perfect time, and I've always thought it was a little bit unlikely, but this is the most unlikely, with him having brake failure.
Yeah, because usually when they cut the brakes, it's because they want the person driving to like fall off a cliff or hit a pole or something, but not to hit the other car to damage that car. Because what are the chances that you're going to hit that car at the right time at the right place when you're trying to hit your brakes? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't really work for me. And not only that, but like, when you go back a few episodes, he said he was supposed to kill someone and he killed the wrong kid. So it was like, well, were you supposed to just cause a minor accident like you're claiming now, or were you really supposed to kill someone? And what?
Yeah. And even if you were, like, does that guarantee you would have killed him in the first place? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, writers.
Sorry. Yeah, we're trying. We're really trying to hang in there with you, writers, but like, give us something to work with.
Yeah, you still have a chance to redeem yourself. We want happy endings for everyone. Okay?
The happy endings are mandatory. Even if they happen in the next life, we can maybe survive that. But
we want a little bit more backstory as to what happened to Sangha, what happened in the first life, and more as to why they're so connected. Yeah, give us that and we'll forgive you.
Yeah. So you only have a few episodes left to make it happen. So chop chop.
Yeah, like what, 4 episodes left? We only have 4 episodes to go.
4 episodes. So they need to do something here, because at least I will say this: the forbidden khakis of pleated shame and bagginess were not present.
We didn't see that. So, honestly, I like the flashback to the Joseon era. I like Soa and his traditional clothing. If he could wear that every episode, I'm fine with that too.
And Han Min-gi looked great in the past and the present in his costuming.
He did.
He probably looked better than ever. We didn't see a lot of development with Chowan and Doyoon.
Mr. Ha.
Yeah. And so there wasn't a whole lot, for one that we thought was going to take place in a hotel, right? There hasn't been actually much hotel stuff. So the fact that you've managed to get your bingo now and have as much as you do on the hospitality card is frankly impressive.
Very pleased. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. So I think
I also need to see a little bit more from Mr. Ha as well. Like he needs a little bit more personality. Like Choan is adorable and I love her, and I don't see what she sees in Mr. Ha yet. I don't see it.
No.
Sorry.
I mean, he did bring her that umbrella way back when they were teenagers, but like, the umbrella flirting, there's got to be an expiration date on that eventually. Like that
She
doesn't,
fell in love with him because he gave her an umbrella.
that's
Ella,
all it took.
Ella.
I mean,
it.
yeah, but
Oh.
you know what though? Like Banjium likes Munsua because like 1,000 years ago, like he may have murdered someone who is special to her. So like what?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We got a lot of questions. And you know what? I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video or after we finished recording or not, but maybe if we had read the webtoon, we would have all the answers to these questions.
I suspect that we would, but then I feel like that would be spoilers too, that we probably wouldn't want to have. But it would be interesting to read the webtoon after this and see how it compares. Generally speaking, like I know for most people, they like to do a read of something first and then watch the thing made off of it. And that makes a lot of sense. But
that's usually what I like to do. I don't like to read it after I've watched the video or movie medium.
I don't mind doing that if the film came first and then the writing happened. Because I have seen that happen a few times, but oftentimes the ending is different when that happens too, which is weird.
Yeah, it is. That's
so so we would like to apologize to those of you watching that we didn't manage to hit the record button, and by we I mean me. But we did have some other technical issues during there that were causing problems anyway. We're going to have some edits, but we were going to be able to work around that because it's not our first rodeo. But there's no way we were going to just film this whole episode from scratch again and act like we didn't know. So
maybe if it was like one of our favorite dramas, we would sit and watch the whole thing again.
Yeah, but if it were something like that where we were like really into it or something, but for this show,
and then a second watch we might find things that we missed the first time, and that could be fun with a drama that we are absolutely in love with. But
but it's late and we're tired, and sorry guys. This is what you get. This is our little recap. So do you have anything else you want to add on this episode?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I wanted to say was I really liked the piano scene. I really liked how they ended things at this episode. I liked that she finally told him. And so I hope going forward that not everybody dies.
Yeah, but I do feel like she is like revealing herself to a lot of people, especially when we're getting the vibes from Mingi that she shouldn't be doing that. I mean, she's telling everybody she might as well just get a billboard at this point.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, we were saying like she could wear like a sandwich board around or something. Like, I'm reincarnated. Woo, I remember everything.
Hear ye.
Ask me any questions for your geography test. I got you.
I was there. Would you like some Joseon porcelain?
Yeah, right.
Which is another thing. I'm sorry, I have to bring this up. Okay.
The Joseon era obsession with Japanese porcelain.
No, the porcelain that she brought to pay off the loan shark. First of all,
from a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, from a few episodes ago. First of all, why didn't you just cash it in first and just bring the money, bring the cash, or at least bring the appraisal form? Second of all, where does she get it? Because it's not like, My Love from Another Star. That one person, he's an alien. He lived for like 1,000 years. It was just him. Like she's supposedly reincarnating. Like, is she like hiding the stuff and then going to dig it up later? Like, where does she get the porcelain vase?
I would have had like a major safe deposit box in somewhere like Switzerland and just keep like whatever assets I had in there, and just make it like one of those numerical based ones like they had in the Born Identity. So, you don't have that based off of a person's name. It's just whoever has all the details about it can go in and access it.
So you think she has some giant vault somewhere with just like relics from the past like 1,500 years?
Right. Something like that, because that would be what I would do. But if she did have that, then why was she so poor and sick when she was Samchon?
Yeah.
When she was Aegyong's uncle.
Yeah, exactly.
So
she has not been, using her past lives to her advantage in every life.
Right. And she in fact, she seemed to be poor and dying, like in all the shots that we've seen of her past lives.
Right, exactly. So where does she get this expensive porcelain from?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a bit mysterious to me. It's a nice thought, but it almost feels like, I've seen American shows where they have multiple writers on there and it feels like they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
with their episodes. Like, no, this is what I want to do. No, this is what I want to do. And I kind of
Yeah.
wonder if that's something that's happening with this show and if that's what we're dealing with here.
Maybe. But that is true with American TV shows. You could have one writer for one episode, another writer for another episode, and they have to kind of like retcon and retrofit things sometimes.
Yeah, because again, talking about like, was her dad supposed to have killed the kid, or was it supposed to be a minor at collision? And like,
Right.
depending on which episode you're watching, you may have a different opinion on that. It's like having a board game with two different sets of rules. Like,
But I really feel like with Korean dramas, it's usually just one writer or at most two. Like one writer writes everything.
or a
And
team of
sometimes,
writers that are all in agreement and they all review each other's stuff. But
yeah.
yeah.
Or maybe if a writer like quits or something, then someone else comes in. But usually
Mhm.
it's one person. It's more continuous. Like sometimes you'll watch a drama and like in episode 10, it takes a sharp left turn, and you're like, wait a minute, what
Yeah.
did they change writers? Like this
Yeah,
is just
you got to wonder like
completely
what
different.
happened here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this show, it feels like that though. It feels like
Mhm.
there are writers who are fighting each other with the plot. So hopefully that resolves soon, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. So guys, sorry.
This is it.
But hope you like our recap and discussion, and
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you think of this format.
yep, because this is probably going to happen again. We're
day.
not perfect.
All right.
All right.
Let's end this recap here.
All right. Bye.